Hello everybody, welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and on today's video, Be the Dream You, They Already Exist. I am struggling with manifesting my partner since our breakup. Can you manifest a reconciliation even though it's been 9 months? That was a question that was posed to me, and this is my unpacking of the answer. You see, if you look at the question, you can see where your focus actually is. It doesn't mean your focus is on these things, but if you're asking the question as if the question was posing some kind of truth in your reality, then that is where your focus is. Still identifying with conditions in the physical self. My partner, since our breakup, those are conditions of who? Who are those conditions actually of? When you say, my partner and I broke up, who's experiencing those conditions? Where do those conditions exist? If you are the physical self and your reality is somebody who broke up with you and that is your timeline, why would it be any different along the timeline? If you are the identity that broke up with your specific person, broke up with your partner, where you are referring to them as my ex-partner or my previous person that I was with, can you manifest a reconciliation? See, reconciliation is still living in that timeline, counting the days since then, asking when and if, because it's been 9 months now. 9 months. Where's that 9 months? Where's it gone? It's in potential. It's part of your superimposed experiencing of who you are right now, but it doesn't actually exist outside your awareness. It doesn't exist within the 3D world. There are appearances that give the illusion of that time having or have been spent. You will see a video uploaded 13 years ago, 1 year ago, yesterday, 5 minutes ago. And along that timeline of experiencing, that's the way it is in the timeline where you are right now. But it exists right now. See, the idea of linear time and the conditions and circumstances of your current physical viewpoint do not change, because they don't physically exist separate from you as an objective reality that has continuity. You are different, a different version of yourself being projected right now. You are awareness projecting, and what you are projecting as your physical reality. As physical reality, your viewpoint of physical reality. It is brand new right now in every way, in every shape, in every form, in everything right now. It doesn't have a story on its own. There's no story happening out there that is a fundamentally objective reality that exists separate from you. There's nothing going on but your story in your awareness. See, your awareness is the screen of your life, the life that you are experiencing. So it comprises of more than what you are just experiencing physically. It's everything in your physically focused viewpoint, that's your reality. It's everything in your awareness, that's your reality. It's everything you are imagining yourself to be, that's your reality. It's everything you are assuming yourself to be, that's your reality. Why? Because as reality, you are continuously becoming aware of a version of yourself you consciously choose to be. Whether it's awareness, whether it's a 3D focused expression, whether it's imagination, whatever, it's all actually imagination, and it's all happening in your awareness. If you're watching a movie, you have the idea of characters moving around in the background. I don't mean in the scene. I mean if you're watching something happening in New York City, and then there's another character that's doing something in France, let's just say, but they don't show you the France side of things. They only show you the New York side of things. And then later on, they meet up with the other character who did something in France, and you meet up with that character and they tell you what they did, but you don't see it. But your awareness, imagination, creates the illusion from frames it already has of you knowing a version of reality that they did to get to that point. And every version of reality that they did to get to that point exists now, because every point of it exists right now. None of it objective. You can reimagine, because you're always imagining. You can imagine anything and assume yourself to be that person, but you can't change the thing that you saw physically into the thing that you imagined, because it's two different things. You are assuming your identity is the one that is experiencing what you imagined, and that is what's unfolding, regardless of whatever it looks like moment to moment. You are reality, experiencing a physically focused version of yourself that has and always will exist in the story forever. If you take a movie again, the one that's shot, the one that you're watching, the one that says the beginning and the end, that one, that just exists. It's a whole thing. You can imagine that another version of this movie rearranged any which way you like, and live as the identity who experiences movies like that, your experiences like this, because your desired experience of these expressions is who you are, what you are bringing into your experiencing of life. And you shift into that reality, not changing whatever this looks like, but unfolding and unpacking reality now from that version of you that you decided to be, no matter what it is. It doesn't have to change the movie you saw, but now what's unfolding for you is you seeing movies you like in the way that you like it. Your story as I am, because you are reality, so whatever your story is as I am is the story of what reality is, because you are realities, because whatever you are calling as reality has to be reality. The one that you are consciously choosing to tell, not because of the conditions, but by the one awareness who knows all conditions arise within them, is the story playing out right now, regardless of what it looks like. You're watching anything, you're reading anything, you listening to a co-worker's problem, a friend's problem, anything. You have this innate knowing that reality has an infinite number of ways for this to continuously just work out perfectly from right here and right now. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what happened. It must be working out. And because it's my perspective, it's working out from my experiencing of it. That person is playing their part. Everyone's playing their part. No one is separate from me. If I'm seeing somebody not get what they want or get what they want, or experiencing fulfillment or not experiencing fulfillment, none of that matters, because it must be, from my point of view, experiencing my fulfillment. So no matter what it looks like, it must be unfolding perfectly for my experiencing of reality. That's your viewpoint. That is the only thing happening into your reality. Guilt doesn't make sense because it already exists like that. You trying to imagine something because you want it to work out better for that person is also up to you. It's your choice. You are making a choice to see another version of reality that simply exists. It existed and exists prior to you imagining it. You don't have to imagine it to make it happen, because it already exists. The only thing that matters is what you desire to be experiencing. And it's innately your desired experience to always experience your specific viewpoint of what you desire, because nobody doesn't not have the infiniteness of whatever they want, and they are experiencing it. There's a version of you who's seeing them experiencing an infinite number of lives in each of those lives. None of those versions are you, but they are the physically presented version of who you are, which is reality. But in that reality, in those realities, you are and are not experiencing what you desire. So who are you right now? The version of you that is experiencing what you desire, knowing that everything and everyone else does not matter, because it doesn't matter what they are doing. It only matters who you say you are. And you are a blank slate right now. Blank as it gets. Brand new. Without past, without present, without future. And as that blank slate, you contain and are the creator of every condition. Because conditions, we use this word as negative, but it's not really negative. It's just things that are happening, circumstance. You want conditions, you want circumstances, you want things to play with, you want things to enjoy. Holding your specific person's hand is a condition. It is a circumstantial expression of being in that relationship. So when you're imagining yourself holding a specific person's hand or whatever, that is a condition and circumstance of you being the version of yourself that you desire to be. Why? Who? What? I am chosen. Why? Because I am. Who? I am the version experiencing it. What? I am experiencing reality as I would like it from my point of view, knowing I am chosen. When you imagine something with the intention of being it, you light up that story, which automatically unfolds as your timeline. I am that. Automatically unfolding as your timeline as that. I am that. I am that. I am. No matter what. The previous story, if you can say previous, it is previous. The idea of old man is not true. I know it says old man in the books, but old implies that it pre-existed something and new is post-existence, but that doesn't make sense because it has to only ever be now. So the now, previous identity that you no longer choose, which was unaware of who you are, and the now current version of yourself that always existed, who knows who you are, existed simultaneously in order for you to know yourself and who you are. So that previous story goes back into potential. And from the potential, the current story starts to play out as your life choice, because there's no objective reality playing out right now. There's only what you say is playing out right now. And it plays out backward and forward. It plays out from right here, rearranging your past, rearranging your future, and you are unfolding the arrangement and rearrangement of it as your dream life experience. That's happening right now. And you get to choose from an infinite number of pre-written scripts or potential reality timelines. And you only have to make a choice as to who you are by imagining it. So the idea of 9 months ago or time passing is not a true story, while it is an experienceable story, because that's just one idea, one expression of a series of timelines. While it seems like a continuation, it's another version of the same script of I am, not together with my specific person. If you look at it this way, as you go further along the script, the time increases. So while it looks like it should go the other way, it actually doesn't. Time increases as you go away from something. 10 years, 1 year, 9 months, 8 months, you're going further into the timeline of 20 years, 40 years, 50 years. You're just going further down that timeline. That timeline stays exactly like that, where it's always ago. Where something happened ago from a certain point where that reality came to a close. Well, it doesn't really come to a close. That event happened, and now other events are continuously happening from that point, but it all exists now. One goal, one reality, one timeline, one expression, one love. And it is love. Even though there are painful experiences and depressing experiences and all of that stuff in that timeline, it's still coming from the same source. Because if you're watching a horror movie, an action movie, a sad movie, a romantic movie, a comedy, or whatever it is, a life biopic, documentary, whatever, music video, anime, whatever, it's the same light that creates that. It's the same light that is injecting or giving you, or you are experiencing that experience you have when you watch the thing. Happiness, joy, sadness, anger, whatever. It's the same light and the same thing happening, the same energy moving, but we are interpreting it in a different way for a different experience. Now, all the scripts have a set unfolding of experience. You do not get to choose the unfolding. You don't get to choose what the present moment looks like. Sure, I mean, there's things where you think you're choosing it, where it's like, I choose to be having a drink of water right now, or something like that. And then reality goes out of its way to stop your water for a bit, and then you can't. But that's really the point here, where you don't get to choose what your 3D present moment looks like. You only get to assume whatever reality and beingness you are, because your assumption is actually reality regardless of what it looks like. You only what is unfolding for you by lighting up the end. So you go to your end, you hold your specific person's hand, you be in that relationship from the knowing I am the source of it. I am the source of this, what I'm imagining. I am the source of it. When I'm holding my specific person's hand, when you are holding a specific person's hand, when your specific person is holding your hand, whatever it is, when you go to that end, that is a new version of you in a new timeline with a new version of them, where your free will as a physically focused being and their free will as a physically focused being in this specific timeline, and the specific timeline of living wherever you are living, however you are living, with the amount of money that you have on the script that you desire, that you are lighting up right now, that I am this desire means I'm already living this specific life. This is who I am. That is who you are right now, and that is what's unfolding as your awareness, and that is and what must be your reality right now, because the only person, the only being, the only consciousness that has any kind of say as to what your reality is you, because there is no other reality. And I am your host, Reese, the Sriracha Your Reality with this. Thank you for the questions. Much love and much light. There were other questions, and I will also get to those as well, but I just want to pack one thing at a time here. Thank you all for being here, for your comments, questions, shares, likes, and subscriptions. Thank you for the kind words as well. Quite lovely, wonderful, and wonderful. Feel free to drop a question in the comment section or send me an email anytime. Thank you for joining the TikTok page. Thank you for joining the Facebook group. And love and light. I'll see you all in the next one.